Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and we're going to do something a little bit different today. I have pulled out, I don't know if you're like me, but when I see a digital that I like, I print it, and sometimes I print it 2 times, and I tend to hoard them because I don't want to use them. They're so pretty. Like I can't print it again. I don't know what my deal is, but I've got some digitals here that are just absolutely beautiful, and I want to use them. So I will be using some of the sheets in some of my journals, and I pulled out lots of different embellishments too, ephemera, because I want to use some of this ephemera that I have in my stock. So what we're going to make is a wraparound side tuck cluster, if you can grasp that. And I thought I would start out with this collection right here. Now this, I've got the name Floral Botanical. It says Card Set Garden, but I'm not sure where this came from. I want to say, I don't know. I'm not sure. Just looking through, I don't recognize the artist. But if you know where this collection come from, you're welcome to put it down below. I would if I could remember, but sometimes I go to Etsy and I'll find them and I print them, and then I just totally forget where they come from. I might write the name on there, but I fail sometimes to write anything else. Now, the reason I chose this is because this has got a lot of the pieces that are this way. They're up and down. They're not sideways like a lot of the other ones are. So this will be a tall one, and that's what we need. We need it at least 8 inches. Most of my pages are 8 inches tall. So most all of these have got the flowers and things running the long way. So I liked that about it. See, that's just why I pulled this one out. But you could do it with any of them. It doesn't matter. I think I'm going to start out with this one. Now, what I also pulled out is I've got just an old magazine. This is an old Echo Park catalog that I have had in my drawer for a long time. I used to use it to put my ink on with, but it got way too messy, so I stopped. Now, these pages are kind of thick. They are a shiny surface, but they're kind of thick, and that's what we need in order to make these little wraparound side tucks that we're going to be making, because we need something that's thick. Now this is not going to show. All I'm going to use this for is just the base. Oh, I need to use my other trimmer because I need to be able to measure 8 inches. So hopefully you're understanding. Just follow along and you'll get it in a minute. Sometimes I don't even get what I'm saying. I have to wait until I do it. Let's see. We're going to cut this down, and I'm going to cut mine to 8 inches. Yeah. I could always, if I make my page a little shorter, I can always trim off a little bit on the ends, but I'm going to make it at 8. We'll save that piece because that may be tall enough for another one. Now, the width, I need at least, let's see how much that is. I think it's about 3 inches. Yeah. I'd like to have at least 3 inches to wrap around. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and fold that right there. That's about 3, I think. Yep, that's exactly 3. And then on this side, which will be where you have your little side tuck that we're going to do the cluster on, I don't want it quite that wide because that would take up most of the page. So all I'm going to do is cut it down to, and I'll tell you the full measurements of all these in just a minute. I think about 2.5 inches is going to be plenty. All right, let's look and see what size that is. Then we can always do other ones. Okay. On this one, I left 2 inches, and then this one is 3. So you need to cut this a total of 5 inches, and then I just scored it at 2. That gives me my wraparound, as you can see, if this was your journal page, it would wrap around. This is going to be where I make my cluster and use up some of my embellishments. And then over here, we're going to make another little, we can either cover it solid or just make another little cluster. And this will be our little side tuck. Okay. So we're going to have two side tucks, but one of them is going to be a really thin cluster and the other one will be a little bit thicker pocket. Hope that makes sense. It will when we get started making them. So let's see. Now I haven't seen these made before. Someone probably has somewhere. And I don't even know where it come from. I didn't dream about this last night, to tell you the truth. I'm going to put my little scrap piece of, this is a little scrap piece of our nonstick craft mat. I'm going to put that under there. And then I'm going to tear off these edges. I don't mind this being torn. Doesn't matter if it's straight or crooked or what. Ah. Because we're probably going to collage on most of it anyway, so I mean, the paper is going to show, but we are going to have some different things on there. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can do this. You can spread your paper out and you can wrap this all the way, or you can just do one side at a time. I'm going to do one side at a time because I will wrap something around here, but it may just be a thin book page. I don't want any thick paper wrapped around here because it just makes it a little bit harder to fold over. So we're going to start out with this. And I'm thinking I'm going to start out with this flower. And you might say, well, why in the world did you tear that if you're just going to tear it again? Well, I just wanted to get some of those white edges off because I've got plans for that wording right there. I love that. So we're going to start off like this. Now, here again, this is not going to be, this is just going to be me collaging and putting different things in different places. If you want to just cover it solid with a piece of paper, that's up to you. If you want to just use your paper as your fold around, that's up to you too. I wanted to do this a little different because I wanted it to be a little bit thicker. So when I start tucking things in there, that it's gonna hold up. Now these are some little cards that come with that collection, and I'm just gonna tear one of these. I think that'll be pretty on there. So we're making this up as we go. I've not done one before. Don't have a clue how it's going to turn out, but we'll make it up as we go, just like I do everything else. And I don't mind if it hangs over this way a little bit. You know, off of this, I don't mind that. I think, as a matter of fact, I think that'll probably look pretty good. Okay, I'm going to tear that little point off there. So how are you guys doing today? What is everybody doing? Are you crafting? Are you working? What are you doing? All right, I'm thinking that might be what I go with right now. And then I'm just going to use some scraps of different things that I have stamped. Let's see, maybe on a piece of this book page. Yeah, I like the darker with that. And I'm going to use pretty big pieces. You can use smaller pieces if you want. Mine are going to be pretty big. Okay, and I'm going to lay mine out before I do anything else. So, and I will probably come back and put another layer on there too. So don't run away yet. Now, this is just a bunch of scrap ephemera that I have stuck in this bag. And I thought, Edith, drag that out and use it and quit hoarding it, girl. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm just going to try different pieces and see what we can come up with. And I've got a little bit of everything in here, so while I'm filtering through, I'll cut out different parts when I'm searching for things. You can do this with your scraps too, so drag out your scraps. Just a good way to use up things. Okay, let's try a little green piece right here. I really don't want to cover up all of that. Okay, I think I like it so far. Let's start gluing and see what we come up with. We may completely want to change everything, who knows. But the thing of it is, if you put something down and you don't really like it, put something else on top of it. Now I am not going to ink all of these. I know, surprise, surprise. I'm just not going to this time. We're just going to see what we can come up with. Now, I put glue way out there on that one, and I shouldn't have. So don't put glue all over your pieces, especially if they're going to hang off like that. Now, if this one's going to hang off a little bit, then I need to put something behind it to make it a little bit stronger. Because if it hangs off and this is just a little thin piece of paper, it will end up tearing when you tuck things in and out. So I'm just going to put this on the back, and it'll make it a little bit thicker, make it where it won't tear when you tuck things in your little pocket there. And then we will just tear this off. This is just a thick piece of cardstock, very thick. And normally you would wait for your glue to dry, and I didn't, but that's okay. So there is that piece. So we'll put it like that. I don't know if I'm gonna have to ink. I think I am. It's just something about it that doesn't look right when I tear it unless I ink it. So we shall ink. All right, let's don't put all the way over there. Now just make sure that I'm not sticking it down. Now this one, I think I'll tear that and I'll put it right at the edge. Like that. Okay. I think that piece is so pretty. Now, I don't like straight edges on mine. If it doesn't bother you to have straight edges, then don't worry about it. But I'm not too fond of straight edges. I like them all crooked. Okay. Then I thought I would put that there, and then I'll cut off the edge of it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to rough this side up. I can't really tear it and make it look right, so I'm just taking my scissors. I'm going to rough it up, oops, and drop it, and then I'm going to ink it. Okay, and then we'll put glue maybe on half of it. I think that's about all that's going to stick down there. And we just want to put that right there. And we'll trim this when I finish. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. And then this little piece, I think we will come up about right there and let the bottom hang off, and then I'll trim that. And I have torn around both sides of this. Just a good way to use up a lot of those papers that you have in your stash and a lot of your extra ephemera. Okay, now let's put something right here. And I think I might just put, let's see. Yeah, we'll just put a little ticket there. Grab my little scissors. I dropped this little box over behind my desk, and I've got those little giblets everywhere. So now I'm going to have to move my desk and see if I can vacuum those up. I mean, they're everywhere. I dropped it and they went flying. Or I knocked it off, is what I did. And I just used my little decorative scissors to cut that. So we'll put that right there. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and trim it just so I can see what it looks like. Or we can just fold it around. What do you think? I might just fold it around and it'll give it a little bit of extra strength there. But not too much because this paper right here is very thin. So we'll just fold that around. If we don't like it how it looks on that side, we can always cover it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. I'm liking that so far. Now I'm going to go ahead and trim the top because I don't need to put paper on the inside of this because that's going to be glued down. The edges are anyway. You're not going to see it. I don't want to trim that one off, I don't think. I don't mind it sticking over a little bit. Okay, now that's what we have so far on that side. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do this side, and then we'll come back and we may add a label or another little stamp or something like that on the other side. But let's go ahead and flip it over and do this side. And this is the reason that I tried to save that, because I'd like to have that right down through there. But I think it's going to be too long. Oh. I was hoping that all the word would go on there, but it's not. So, we'll put this side on there. Go ahead and tear this. These are some that I'm thinking somebody else printed for me, or I printed before I had the printer that will do all the way to the edges. I'm not sure, but now I print from edge to edge if I can without losing any of the design that's on there. But I think these are some that actually got printed beforehand. Yeah, I think I'm going to like that on there. And I'm just going to put the solid piece on this side. You can collage it too like you did the other side, or you can just leave it solid. Either one. But if you've got old magazines that the pages are kind of thick, or old book pages that the pages are kind of thick, this works great. Okay. Now I'm going to leave a little bit of that hanging over because I tore a little bit crooked right there. See where my bone folder is. And I just feel good when I use things up that's been in my stash for a while. I need to quit trying to hoard things. I mean, I've got so much. I'm going to have to move out of the office soon. I've got so many things here. Okay, then I'm just trimming. You could tear it if you wanted to. Just trimming it off. And then I'm going to go ahead and just snip this side right here, since I did leave it hanging over a little bit because I tore it crooked. Just like that. Put a little bit of ink around it. Now I'll probably stitch on mine. You don't have to do that. As you know, you don't have to do anything if you don't want to. Well, you do have to pay taxes. Sorry about that, but most people do anyway. So there is that side. Now, I think I want some little something else on this side. What about a stamp up there? And I don't know where I got these little stamps. I couldn't begin to tell you. Somebody might have sent them to me, or I don't know. They're just one of those things that's been in my stash, and when I was going through a little while ago trying to find some things that I wanted to use, these fell out, so I thought, well, time for you to get used up. Let's see. I kind of like that there. And right here I would like something Let's try a doily there. What about that color? No, that blends too much. I think it's going to be this one. All right, we'll put those over there. And on this one, I will probably use just part of it and use the other part somewhere else. See what that would look like if I wrap it around. Oh, I like that. So we'll just wrap it around. We're going to kill two birds with one stone. Not that I'm killing birds. I'm really not. So I don't want any hate mail. I don't know where that saying come from. But when I said it the other day around the grandkids, Brooklyn I think she had never heard it. And she looked at me and she went, Nene, why would you want to kill birds? I said, baby, I don't. That's just a saying. She said, well, I think it's dumb. Because she loves animals. I said, baby, I'm not going to kill any birds. I said, I wouldn't kill a little bird. And she said, I said, it's just an old wives' saying. An old saying that came from years and years ago, way before you was born. I said, my mother and daddy used to say it, and I just said it. She said, Nene, let's don't say that anymore. I don't think that's very nice. I said, yes, ma'am. Leave it to your kids to tell you what to do, huh? All right, and I'm thinking I'd like to have something down here and then maybe a label across there. So I'm just kind of looking for something. Looking through all these little giblets I have here. Somebody said, you tickle me to death calling them giblets. Well, I don't know what else to call them. They are little giblets, aren't they? They're just little pieces of stuff. Pieces of ephemera. I just shot that one way over there. Let's see. Ooh, I love this right here. I don't know where this came from. I think Melina had ordered some in a little packet. And they came in, and I absolutely love them. But I think that little piece is all I have left. Melina, where'd you get these? Can you get more? See, here I am trying to use things up, and then I'm begging for more. That's our life. Oh, me. Such a crazy person. Are you like me when you use something up, you're like, oh man, I've used the last and I want more. I tend to like certain things a lot, which is just about everything. And when I use it up, all I can think about is, man, I wish I had more of that. It's like my laces and trims. I just hoard them just like I can't ever get any more. Oh, love that. Love it, love it. Okay. And then right here, we're going to put something there. And I'm not sure if any of these photos are going to look right there or not. These are some of the Tim Holtz photos. Some of them I'm okay with, and some of them are kind of creepy looking to me, so I don't know. Some of these look fine. But there are some of his that, to me, they look a little bit creepy. But I need to use them more. I don't use them enough. I'm going to clip the corners on this girl. See what she might look like right there. Well, I really don't mind her there. Okay. She's not too bad. It's kind of vintagey. That she's in that sepia color, I think. So it looks pretty good. So there's that. Anything else we might put on here? Okay, I may come back in with this little Paris label. It's just something else that I've had in my stash for a while. And since I wanted to put Paris on here and I couldn't find a place for it, or it was a little bit too big, I should say. Now where? I think I'm going to put it right at the top of that, like that. And I think these were some little pieces from Blue Fern because they're very, very thick paper. Okay, that'll work. So there is that side, and I think that's all I'm going to do to that side. Over here, I may put a little label of some kind. So let's look at Katie's labels, see what we can come up with. Let's try that one. I don't mind that. I don't really know what that has on it. Can't see it. But it looks kind of Paris-y anyway. Alright, let's put that right there. And the reason I'm choosing to put it there is because we have that little, we have like 3 pieces coming together. And so I just put it there and then up against that little doily there. And I think that's all I'm going to do to that side. I don't think I'm going to do anything else. Now, let's just say that this was our page that we wanted to put it on. And this is the edge. Let's say this is the edge here, which it is. I would put it here like this. And I would glue here and then down through this edge and then down at the bottom. So that's going to give you a side pocket or side tuck. And then on this side, I would do the same. I would glue here, and you've got another side tuck. I think I'm going to put a little pull right there because this side is a little bit larger than the other one. Just a small one. And you could put your pulls anywhere up and down through there. See, I think that'd be pretty. And then you've got a little pocket on that side too. So you have a wraparound cluster. You have a cluster. You have pockets and tucks. I love that. And see, none of that inside is going to show. So that's just to make it stronger. I was trying to say sturdiness and strength, and I was going to it's just going to make it stronger. Okay, let's do another. Sorry, my eyeball is itching. I think to do this one, I might just use a piece of this. Since we're covering it all anyway, it doesn't matter what you use. Grab out any kind of scrap that you might have. And I'll wrap it like that. This one will do the opposite side. I tend to do everything right-handed, so I'm trying to do more that go the other way. It's harder when you're right-handed. Okay. Just like I'm sure it's harder for a left-handed person to do right-handed things. Now I'm going to cut this off a little bit, and I may make these sides close to the same. I don't know. And I know we've all done the wraparounds before. This is just something a little bit different. And like I said, mainly this is just to use up a lot of my scraps that I have laying around here. Alright, so this one, I'll tell you what size I cut it. This side is 2 3/4, and then this side is 3 1/4. So it's a little bit larger. Let's see, do I want it that large? I think I do. I think I'm going to leave it. Does anybody else get their fingers like this? Is it just me? Am I the only one? Alright, we're going to start out with a piece of this old book page. This is from 1869, I believe it is. I got it from Katie. And we may have a lot of books to sell. I was trying to say new, but they're not going to be new. Old books to sell before long. Melina ended up grabbing a bunch at a college library. And we're either going to offer the pages or some of the books, depending on what shape they're in. I haven't seen them yet, so I don't really know. But she sent me a picture and she said, "Mother, look at this." She said they're giving these away or they're going to burn them. I said, "Don't let them burn them." I said, "Grab them, stick them in your car." She said, "I don't know how I can get all these in my car." I said, "Call me, I'll bring the truck." But, so she grabbed as many as she could get in her vehicle of those. And she said some of them are very, very old. Well, she said most of them are very old. And it's not just college books. It's from the library. So, it's all kinds of books. She said they just was trying to clean out and get rid of because they had somebody that donated a lot of new books and they didn't have room for them. So she said the lady told her if somebody don't take them, we're going to burn them. And I said, "No, I can't stand the thoughts of them burning books now. So you bring them home. We'll do something with them." All right. So got a little book page on there. And we'll just start off with some different things. Let's see. We might put that little ticket on there. It's already burned around the edges. I like that. So I uploaded a lot of I uploaded more items. It's a lot, but some of them have already been purchased. Sometimes I think there's some people that stalk the website, and when I put something up, they just grab it. And that's fine. I don't mind you doing that at all. I don't mind. Because sometimes I can put it up and I look back and I'll think, well, I just put that up and it's gone. But I put up a lot of things out of my stash that I needed to move and get rid of and let somebody else enjoy them, because I have got so much that I will never, if I lived to be 200, I'd never be able to use it all. So it's time that I let some things go. Anyway, sorry I had to answer the phone. It is time that I let some things go and let somebody else have some enjoyment out of them. Some of the things that I put in the East clearance, yes, some of the things have been used. That's what my clearance is all about. Everything in there is not new. I had a very disgruntled, I would say, a very upset person that purchased some of the little punches that I had put in there. And she said that I should have tried them before I sold them, because when she got them, she threw every one of them away because they were used. Well, I said they were used. She said they didn't work, but we tried every one of them. I had Alicia and Presley to try every one, and they all worked. Yeah, they were hard to punch, but a lot of those little tiny small punches are. But we tried them, they worked. So just keep in mind that the things that I put on there, if it doesn't work at all, I'm not going to put it on there. I'm going to throw it in the trash. But if I put it on there and say, I have used this, it is used, it's used quite a few times, it's used 2 or 3 times, whatever. It's something out of my stash that I have been using, but I don't need anymore because I have so much. I mean, I've been doing this for almost 30 years, so I have a ton of things. I don't need all the stuff that I have. Somebody else needs to get some enjoyment out of it. So keep that in mind if you do purchase anything from the sale, that it is, yes, it may have been used. But I put it on there. I don't put junk on there. I put it on there because somebody else might want it and somebody else might enjoy it. you know, I put a lot of material, pieces of material and things on there because I have lots of pieces of material. And I try to group them in big bags so that you'll get, you know, if you get a bag, you'll get many yards, not just half a yard or something. You're going to get many yards. So just keep all of that in mind when you are looking on there to purchase something. I did go ahead and give her money back because she was so upset. But, you know, I hate, I don't hate that I had to give the money back. Don't get me wrong. That's, you know, I want to make the customers happy. But when I tell you that it's something that I have used, then just keep that in mind, that it has been used. And I did put it on there because it has been used. Okay, I'm struggling with this little spot right here, so I'm going to try this and see if it works. But anyway, what I was getting at is I have put quite a few other things up on the east clearance. So if you want to go over and take a look. Now I have got tons of Cricut and Silhouette vinyl, iron-on, glitter. I don't know what I'll transfer, just everything on there. Because, and all of those are new. They've never been opened because I was into this thing years ago where I thought I was going to do lots of vinyl projects. And, you know, that didn't happen because I was too busy with everything else to do vinyl projects. So all of those are new, and there's a ton on there. And I'm selling them less than half price, but they're brand new. Never been opened. So you can get a good deal there if you do any type of vinyl projects or something like that. Okay, I'm going to put this little piece of very, very old book page because it's tearing just when I'm trying to ink it. Right here in this little spot. It's just the right size to put right there. And then I'm just going to trim it like that. There we go. Okay, so I think that's that side, other than I am thinking about putting something right there. Just grab this little pale pink doily, since we got this pink down here. Do you hear my phone beeping? Never fails, does it? Save that piece for maybe the other side. And I think I'm going to put a real little stamp up here. This is Freedom to Speak Out, a Root of Democracy, whatever that means. And there's two, it's a 2-cent one, so that's probably many moons ago. And you'll see quite a few of these in my upcoming journals. I have 4 journals that I have started on, and I'll be showing you guys some of that soon, some of those. And so you'll see some of these in the upcoming journals. I like to make up lots of ephemera to have it readily available. Okay. So I think that's good on that side. Now on this side, I think again I'm going to put a solid, just because I think that's pretty. We can always fill in. Let's see what colors. Which it doesn't matter what color. I don't know why I'm worried about that, but because they're not going to be on the same page. I think I might go with this little piece of lace right here. Again, I don't know where this collection come from. I'm not sure. But if anybody knows, you're welcome to put it in the comments. Okay, I'm going to have to tear off more of that so I can get to my lace. I like that. Okay. I think I'm going to glue it down and then I'll trim it. Sometimes I have better luck at that than trimming it first. Oh man, I'm laughing because my phone is just going crazy. It's a good thing I don't film with my phone, because if I forgot to put it on airplane mode, these kids would have me cut my camera cut off every 2 minutes. Okay. Ooh, I like that. Isn't that pretty? That's not going to need much at all. I think I'm just going to add a few little things down this side because I'm not 100% sold on that. Not that I may not even cover all of it up, but I don't know. I just don't like that confetti look on there. But just add a few little pieces of embellishment, and that will kind of take away from all of that brightness. I want the lace to stand out. I don't want other pieces to stand out. Well, that purple is pretty with that, but if I put that there, then I'm definitely going to have to put something here. So let's just go with something else that's kind of book pagey. Maybe another little piece of book page. Okay. And then we need some little something right here, just to balance it out. Let's just put that down through there. That is just a piece of scrap. And just going to put it there, and it'll kind of look like that it blends in with that, or it was on the paper to begin with. Oops, bring it down a little bit. There we go. So that kind of balanced that brightness out there. And then do we want a doily maybe? I don't think so, because the doily would take away from this. So let's just ink around it. Now you could round the corners on this if you wanted. I don't know. I may, when I start to put it in my journal, I might do that, but right now I'm not. Okay. That just shot right up in my hair. Okay. So there is another, and that would be, let's say this is your journal page, and it would go like that. There's that side, and then there's that side. Isn't that pretty? I'll show you what this side looks like up against the white. I love that. I need more of that paper. I gotta figure out where I got it. Okay, I may make a few more off camera, but I think that's going to give you the gist of what I'm doing and how I'm using up all these scraps. And, you know, you can make these too. They're very, very simple. And if you don't have an old magazine, just use some cardstock or use an old book page or just anything that you can to make them a little bit more sturdy. You don't want them real flimsy, because you want to be able to tuck your little tags in and out and things like that. So make some of these and post them over on our Facebook page. Let me see what you have done, because I absolutely love looking at your projects. All right, we will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Bye-bye.